Hey guys, it's Chris, and we're going to do something else. Yep, because I am a dummy. And I got myself another motherboard from yesteryear. This sucker was super expensive at 20 bucks. And this is a Athalon, not a Amithlon. This is an AthalonXP, 1.7 gigahertz, 256 megs of RAM on a BioStar M7 VIG PCI IDE Micro ATX motherboard. Came with a homemade driver CD for like BIOS and other things, but oh, it even came with a backplane. Let's we'll put that right there. It's supposed to have a processor and stuff in it too. She's rocking the old AGP slot, so I can use this whatever it was. I don't know, I put heat sinks on it. Little ATI card, we'll hang that off the end. And we're just going to leave it as is. It's ATA133 pre-SATA, but she does have USB and PS2 keyboard and mouse. So we're going to use my ancient compact combo keyboard here. Looks like it has a gamepad support, VGA built in, but we're going to use a card. We're going to hook up PS2 mouse and keyboard, because you know what I'm going to do with this, don't you? Yep. I just went through a whole OS XL install. This is my Ubuntu machine. And it was working okay. We got it all done on the board here. I'm going to have to redo it and show you what I did, because the hard drive failed. She was an old girl. Compact spare. 3.2 gigabyte. Whole drive, 3.2 gig. Got all through the install. Started getting some CRC errors. And the Amiga side said nope. The idea was I do have a hardware compatible video card. I want to do native video off of the whatever the hell this is called again, and we're going to try a new drive. Alright, so I found a Hitachi Desk Star from May 2007. One. And 5. XF disk. Alright, 500 megs. So we're going to create a new partition, primary partition. It only needs to be about 20 megs. We'll do 25. Start a free space. Sure. No. We're going to go to free space here. And we're going to say new partition, primary partition. All of it. No, we don't want to initialize. We're going to press enter again. We're going to go to change partition type other, delete 1C and type 76. And then we're going to say no. So now you'll have an inactive primary 31 meg FAT16 and an inactive primary 476. Now we're going to press F3 and we're going to say yes and yes. Leave the FreeDOS CD in, boot back to it. Most of this stuff you can knock out on 2 boots. The whole thing. So we're going to press 1 and then 5 to boot from the FreeDOS Live CD only. We're going to do format C sys. You have to type yes, not Y. Now we're going to go to X, which is the FreeDOS CD. You can do a directory if you want. We're going to CD to FreeDOS, and then CD to setup, and then CD to Odin. You can type all that in one path if you know it. We're going to copy star.star to C, and we're going to say no for the command com, and no for the config sys, and kernel sys. Config sys is MS-DOS, this is FreeDOS. So the reason why I'm just copying everything to the root of C is because you're not going to be in here, and it's okay if you have everything in one directory. It's alright. So with that done, go ahead and pop in your Amiga OS XL 3.9 CD. And wait for it to spin up before you change directories to the drive letter X. Because if you don't wait and you do it a little too early, the whole thing locks up and it's a pain in the butt. So with that CD put in, we're going to go into the ISO Linux directory. And you can do a directory if you want. We're going to copy star.gz. That's going to be the big IRD, the small IRD. Oops. Copy them to C. And the Amithlon. mebox.gz and small IRD. Now we're going to copy the file Amithlon to C. It is a boot configuration text file. We're also going to copy the file small to C. And we're going to copy loadlin.exe to C. CD back to the root. You can go to C. Eject this. Put your kernel disk in. That's just mine. You can do your own single disk with everything on it. It'd be great. I did do one of those. Don't know where I put it. Wait for that CD to spin up. Go to X. Copy these two files to C. Cool. Now, you're pretty much done, right? What you want to do is eject your disk. Control-Alt-Delete. So, FreeDOS has a little weird thing where you have to delete a file called fdconfig.sys. I'm not worried about that right now. We're going to type loadlin at Amithlon and press enter. It'll boot the Boing Ball, and it'll boot the Amithlon kernel, and it'll have the little Amithlon HD. Think of it like the emergency boot disk on OS 3.9 on an actual Amiga. Here you go. And you're like, oh, that's cool, I'm running. Nope, you're not. You're booted off of a virtual image, which I'm going to snapshot this daggone backdrop. I don't know why Commodore ever did that. So, I have a Amithlon HD. I don't have a CD-ROM yet. Why? Because I didn't put it in. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my 3.9 XL CD, and you'll see the icon appear on the desktop in a second. So what we need to do now is we need to create Amiga partitions inside of this little environment. Do you remember when we carved out the two partitions a moment ago? Well, go into Tools, HD Toolbox, and choose Amithlon.device. You will see a second Amithlon.device sometimes when you have a primary and a secondary IDE controller. Some of my boards even have 4 of them. So we're going to choose Amithlon.device. Now you're going to notice, here's my Hitachi. That's the hard drive itself. If you choose this and say partition or install drive, you're going to wipe out that DOS partition that we're booting off of. Important safety tip, don't do that. Always choose this Vert Disk 1. You'll notice because it's a large hard drive, and you say, yep, and just say install. Yep. Now you can partition that drive, and you're going to see a bunch of partitions. Because this is a 400 gig drive, it's not going to show correctly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give myself like an 8 gig partition. And then VDHO, and then I'm going to do a new partition over here. 11 gigs. That sounds good to me. Look, it's 465 gigs, but we'll do 11. That's fine. And then important safety tip on VDH0, make sure you do not select bootable for now. Hit save and then OK. It'll prompt you to reboot. When you hit exit, it'll reboot on the emulator side. You'll see the CD icon reappear in just a moment. Our 2 hard drives will now appear down here in a second. You can make as many as you want, but I only need 2. You don't even need 2, but you can just do 1 system, but I want some junk drive. So we're going to format this the Amiga way. We're going to call this one System. And uncheck the trash can and quick format. And then repeat the process for DH1. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine DH1. Some people call it work. I don't know. Maybe I'll call it work. I do every other time. Uncheck trash can, quick format, Bob's your uncle, boom. Alright, that's great. Now what? Well, now we're going to actually go to the Amiga OS XL CD and go to this 3.9 folder and run the installation. Choose Use RAM Disk when you're asked. She'll unpack. Takes a second to unpack. Takes longer to unpack than it does to install. you'll notice based on your machine here, I have 170 megs of RAM and 8 megs of chip. This machine only has one 256 meg SIM in it, so that is why it is like that. Alright, so here we are. We're going to choose Install 3.9, Boeing Bag 1, and XL software, including Update 1. That's great. Proceed. I accept. Proceed, and choose System, and Proceed. English like Jesus spoke. No printers, please. American. And then we'll do backdrops also. It literally takes about 15 to 25 seconds, depending on the speed of your hard drive and the speed of your machine, to do this. You'll be prompted to reboot when you're done. The important part of why we chose not to make that partition bootable is because it needs to boot off the emulated partition. If you did that before, after creating your initial partitions, you would be stuck in a boot loop where you would have only the unformatted system and work being bootable, because they would have a higher boot priority than this Amithlon HD virtual partition or your CD-ROM at that point. So now, as the install is done, go back into Amithlon HD Tools, HD Toolbox, choose Amithlon.device, choose your second partition, choose partition, highlight VDH0, and now choose bootable, save, and exit. At this point, you can eject your disk if you want, and reboot. Now I'm going to do a full power off. You don't have to. You can press Control Windows or print screen R to there we go, to boot yourself. But I'm going to do a full boot again, and I'm going to toss my patches disk in advance in here because I just want to copy some files that I really like. The patches. Now, when I'm done, I can edit my AutoExec.bat or delete the FD config that says edit my AutoExec.bat and put load lin at small in there. But what I'm going to do prior to that is I'm going to boot this in kernel 3 because it's going to need to happen anyway. So I'm going to edit the file small, and immediately I'm going to save as small 4 and just press enter. Why? Well, because I had those two kernel files I copied. Well, this is going to be kernel 4, KERNEL4, right? Oops. Yeah, kernel 4. Now I'm going to edit small, and that's going to be KERN310. There's a 3.9. There's an updated emubox.gz also. Now you're going to notice I left the file Amithlon alone, emubox.gz. Why? Because, like in my previous videos, I always leave that one as my safety net. So now I'm going to load lin at small. This is kernel 3.1.0, not to be confused with a ROM file. A little different story here. Now we are still not in a hardware accelerated graphics mode yet. We will be shortly. You'll notice she's 256 color, and you can tell you're booted off your hard drive because you'll get the backdrop crap again, and I'll snapshot all and it'll yell about the CD. It's fine. So now I'm going to use the unarc utility here. I'm going to choose archive. Oh, let me show you something real quick. So in system preferences, screen mode, you're going to see I have 640 by 480, right? It says I have a 16-bit. Let's test that. Maybe I do. Nope, you can't be opened because it don't work yet. Well, that sucks. So I'm going to go into Tools, Commodities here, and I'm going to drag a couple to Workbench Startup. Like, click the front, and we're going to get Bench Trash out of here because I hate that sucker. And that's good. I just want to click the front. So, go to my archive. We're going to choose CD0 for me. We're going to take this Amithlon Update 131, and its destination will be RAM. And we'll say start. After that's done unpacking, we're going to continue with Boing Bag 392, also to RAM, and hit start. And again, we'll do a rack attack, which is the USB drivers. And then we'll do Poseidon 3.8. Just really ripping through them here. And of course, Directory Opus A. Now I should be able to run Directory Opus. There. Okay, so I'm going to go to RAM before I delete it. And we're going to go to work on the right. And we're going to take Directory Opus, bing, bing, and copy it there. I'm going to go to work and grab Directory Opus, just drag it down here, and then edit and save. Alright, so with that done, we're going to run these from RAM because it's quicker. We're going to run this Amithlon update. Why? Because this gives me my high color video card, sound, networking, and stuff. Now, for some reason, I have a weirdness. If I install a rack attack prior to this, it doesn't work. I have to install a rack attack after I put MUI on and after I put Poseidon 3 whatever on. It's weird. We need to find Bernmeyer again and ask him to get back on this project. I'm only doing contrib, network, and AHIs. We don't need parallel or none of that crap. Proceed. Super fast. Now normally I don't do this because I like to use the other drivers, but for now I'm going to do that. Proceed. So we're going to reboot again by print screen R for me. This will allow me to set a hardware accelerated mode, and being that this Athalon has supported pretty much everything, we should be able to now go in after the preference loads. Oh. No, I don't want to wait for some more because I forgot to turn that thing on. So let's real quick click the front and go info and say do not wait. Whoops, that's comment. Even though this is unchecked, it doesn't work. So I always type do not wait, and then it won't bother you anymore. Alright, so we're going to go into prefs and then screen mode. Now we can turn up the volume a little bit. We're gonna run 1024 by 768, 32-bit. Just gonna hit save because I know it works. Pow. Boom. Now we're in true color. Get that down there a little bit. Boop. And hardware accelerated. Final thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put MUI, and that's on here. Poseidon MUI on because I want that USB to work. Let's do MUI first. Okay, so it's finally installed MUI. Now I'll install Poseidon. With that done, now we have to install a rack attack. So I'm going to reboot one more time with Poseidon to get MUI's path and all that stuff. Whoops, what did I do? MUI's path and stuff like that. I held the mouse button down while I reset. Alright, so now we have MUI and all that goodness. We're going to go into work and we're going to install a rack attack. In English, this is going to be the open PCI drivers and USB. So we're going to install, and here's the important part. You want to choose a Amithlon USB version. You can choose Prometheus or Open if you have those boards, but we're a Amithlon. English. Do you want to set up a new configuration? We want to set up a new configuration, and yes, you want to install stuff for the keyboard, and now it will automatically search for the USB controller. Proceed. I have nothing in there. Putting a USB drive in. I think I just bumped the ground. Whoops. So we're going to install Rack Attack again. I did an Amiga no-no on a PC. Rebooting. Alright. Let's see if we get... I'm just going to manually do the config. So we're going to System, Prefs. I need AHI also. So we're going to go into Trident, Controllers, make a new controller. We're going to choose Amithlon USB.device and say Online. There we go. Here's my optical mouse. Awesome sauce. And now I have a USB mouse. USB's working. So that's cool. Let's unplug the mouse and let it yell. Bye-bye on the mouse. Let's plug in the thumb drive. Now you can choose this pop-up here and tell it how many seconds. I'll do like 2 seconds. We don't have to do it on disconnect, but we'll just say save and close and close. This is Amiga stuff on it. I'm going to plug this thumb drive in. New USB flash drive was just found. Give it a second. It should be Lexar Yellow is what it's called. But I forgot to copy FAT95 to my stuff. Whoops. Damn it. So we're going to go to System. Then we're going to go to Work. Remember I copied all that crap out from our record deck. Poseidon, Extra, FAT95, we want to get you over here. Oh, I forgot LHA. You bastard. Alright, hold on. We'll do Unarc, Archive, Volumes, Work, a Rack Attack. Whoop, nope. Poseidon, Extra, FAT95, 2, Volume. We'll just stick it in RAM and I'll copy whatever. I don't need the whole thing. So that's kernel 3, works fine. I have no need to kernel 4. Now here's what I want to do finally. So since this is done and working, I'm always going to be loading kernel 3. For now, we're going to do delete fdconfig.sys. Now if I edit autoexec.bat, she'll work like a normal PC. And then I will do load lin small, and I will do a full reboot just to show you now it works like a normal PC, and pow, she'll just fire right up. Auto booting into Amithlon. There we go. So let's see if we're in English now. Now we're going to plug in carefully the USB drive. A new USB flash drive has been detected. It is bound to whatever, and there she is with a massive icon, Lexar Yellow. And I have games and, you know, I don't care about whatever. Oh, did you see that? That said Poseidon Demo. Timeout. I don't have my Ethernet plugged in. When you get into Poseidon and having the USB stack installed, here you gotta watch out for which version you're using. I'm using 3.8, but sometimes you're gonna get a demo version here, and it has the key file available for free now. I don't know why, it's just, I don't know why, you know. Okay, you're going to attempt to register Poseidon. You do not need this. The hardware you are using comes with a license. Make sure your key file is saved. Interesting. But, yeah, it works. Amithlon USB device. Just be careful, because one of the ones, I think it was 3.2, 3, one of them is a demo. Demo timeout. You see that? So I have the wrong version of Poseidon on here, and I will need to fix that. So that's why I'm getting these weird things. Otherwise, USB fully functional, and I have to do AHI. So there's some things that need to be set up, but that's the basic overview of this Amithlon system. I really wanted to get the QNX working, but I guess the disk that I have, the version 621, it's just not working too well, or I don't understand it enough to get the Photon graphics to load, and then you can install XL off of that, and it's supposed to be like magical, but just can't get it going. So anyway, you can get boinged here. I'll fire some links down below so you can get yourself boinged. That sounds kind of, yep. Alright, so anyway, that is yet another Amithlon system build. This was on a BioStar something, yep, socket A. It's on an Athalon 1.8 USB 2.0 micro ATX. This is an old board. It was like 20 something bucks on the old ebizzle.internet. And I thank you guys for supporting me so I can do these kind of things. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of motherboards and no cases. Got parts all over the place. You need to get a case for these. And this will make Amithlon machine number 4. So that's all I got for now. And check out my other Amithlon builds. I do one where I drink a bunch of beer and eat M&Ms. It was kind of long because I had a questionnaire going also. It was a live stream. So check out my other playlists with the other Amithlon builds. There's more step-by-step. I'll link everything I got down in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I hope this finds you well. And as always, I hope you learned something.